What's up, guys? It's Danny from the Lazarcast with
Charlotte.
and I have one question for you.
What?
Who are you gonna call?
Ghostbusters!
We just got back from seeing Ghostbusters Afterlife, a movie that we waited a very long time to see due to the pandemic, and also because it's a sequel to the original films, and I've been waiting probably 25 years for that.
25, no.
Well, I have, because I'm older than you. But we're going to try to keep this as spoiler-free as possible.
Spoiler-free, no spoilers unless...
No spoilers unless I mess up and accidentally spoil it.
Me too.
But, well, if we go into spoilers, we will give you a warning, but we're going to try to keep it spoiler-free. So, first reaction, we just got home like 5 minutes ago. What did you think of the movie?
I thought it was okay. I mean, it wasn't like as good as the first, but...
Well,
nothing's as good as
the first movie for me is probably in my top 10 all-time, top 2 or 3 comedies ever made.
Because it's not horror.
Well, I mean, look, we are dealing with ghosts and demons and monsters.
Horror.
Yeah, it's horror enough for us to put it on our horror-themed YouTube channel. So I think I'm okay with that. Anything involving ghosts and spirits and monsters, I think we could put that on there. So you thought it was okay, not as good as the original. Okay.
I just thought it was really slow. Like, not as slow as Chapter 2, guys.
No,
but
nothing is.
But just a little slow.
I will say that this movie felt its runtime. It's about 2 hours and 4 minutes. And when you get to the movies at 6 o'clock, when you get to the movies for a 6 o'clock show, your movie doesn't start until like 6:25 by the time all the previews and commercials are done. So if you're in your seat at 6, you're not getting out of that movie theater for a 2-hour movie until around 8:30. And
8:40 when I went up to Grandma's.
Well, we had to drive home. I will say, right off the bat, stay through the credits. There is a mid and post-credit scene. So not going to spoil what they are, but stay through the credits. Apparently, Ghostbusters are part of the MCU. I'm kidding. They're not, but they're, with the post-credit sequences. You brought up It Chapter 2. What is the unifying factor?
Richie, Finn Wolfhard.
Yeah.
Richie.
Finn Wolfhard was in this, and he plays the older brother of, he plays Trevor.
The older brother of Phoebe.
Phoebe, who's played by McKenna Grace, who I'm pretty sure was in the Annabelle sequels, Coming Home, and what was the last one? I think it was Annabelle Come Home.
And you saying I watched that movie, but I only saw The Conjuring.
Oh, all right. But, she plays, I think she plays their daughter in The Conjuring. The Warrens' daughter. Oh. But she was my favorite part of the movie. I thought she was excellent. So this is not, I don't think this is a spoiler, but mild spoiler warning, because they pretty much tell you this in the trailer, that these are family members of Egon. Of course, Harold Ramis is the only one of the original 4 Ghostbusters who has passed away in real life, sadly.
Oh, real life.
And so the story revolves around his daughter and her kids who have moved to Oklahoma, the middle of nowhere, in like small town Oklahoma. Yeah, Summer Town or Somerville. And they're there to kind of shore up his estate. And his estate...
They also got kicked out of their old house.
Well, yeah, they got evicted, and now they're forced to kind of stay at Egon's old... we said before, it looks like the house on Neibolt Street in It. It's like this huge kind of farmhouse mansion... broken down with creepy barns, and Egon was known around town as like the dirt farmer. Nobody knew who he was. He was just like the weird guy in town.
I've never heard of that.
And we find out why he was there and everything, of course, as the movie goes on. But I will say, I genuinely really like these characters, the mom and the kids. Who else was one of your favorite characters?
Oh, what was his name? Gary?
Yeah. Gary Gruberman? Gruberson?
No.
Gruberson?
I don't know.
The character we're talking about is Paul Rudd. McKenna Grace is her character,
summer
Phoebe.
teacher.
Yeah, she's very much into science, like
Yeah, but
another
why
member of
did
her family.
She wanted to go to summer school. One, she doesn't even like school.
Well, no, she wanted to go to. She didn't want to go to summer school. She just wanted to do something to kill the time while she was there. So she figured, I like to learn and I like science. I'll go to summer school. You said that the teacher reminded you of
this guy. This
and
teacher.
why? Why did he remind him? Why did he
There's
remind?
multiple reasons. One,
of
he
me?
wears similar outfits, just t-shirts and shorts. And then two, he showed 2 horror movies to his students. He
Yeah.
showed Cujo, which I haven't watched, and I want to do, and I do. And Child's Play.
Oh
which
my
I
God!
have
Yeah.
watched.
Oh my God! It was so funny.
Get out of me.
Yeah, the first thing he does for summer school is he doesn't even pretend to teach. He just wheels in an old TV cart. He makes a joke about how all they have is VHS, and then he puts Cujo on for the kids. And
Well, this is a nice movie. It's about Beethoven gets rabies.
yeah, yeah, that's a good line for the movie. He's, of course, it's Paul Rudd. And I said this to you before. Paul Rudd is essentially playing my generation, or maybe like the slightly older than my generation, because he's the guy in the movie who is there to say, oh my God, that's a ghost trap. I remember that from New York, 1984. And he's the one that pulls up on YouTube the old Ghostbusters footage from 1984, the TV commercial they did. We're ready to believe you. And
Call this number. Call this number.
yeah. So a big thing going into this movie was always going to be how much nostalgia and fan service, homage, whatever you want to call it, do they do to the original. I will say I loved the first 2/3 of this movie. I really did.
What was the other third?
Well, the ending. The last, like the whole ending part. And we're not going to spoil it.
Oh.
We're not going to spoil it. But what I will say is that for the people who are going to complain about there being too much fan service, too much nostalgia, the complaints are going to come in the last act of this movie.
Yeah.
That said, the first 2/3 of it, I genuinely really liked.
I honestly only like the last 2/3.
Oh, you thought the beginning was too slow?
I thought like the beginning was just like, okay, you moved in to your grandfather's house. Continue on with the movie, please.
See, I liked that they were like, it was almost like a puzzle. Like they were trying to put together who their dad and who their grandfather was. And they were trying to put that together piece by piece, and they were uncovering mysteries as they went along. There were some moments in this movie where I like I said, the movie was over 2 hours long, but I genuinely I was laughing a lot during the movie.
Grandma was crying a lot.
She wasn't crying a lot. She cried at one scene, and I was very close to tearing up during that moment also. But there are moments where you are going to get kind of emotional, and you kind of know exactly what those moments are going to be from the very beginning. You're just kind of waiting for it. The nostalgia does... There is nostalgia and fan service throughout the movie, and I think it's a perfect amount of nostalgia. Chris, Future Boy Chris, former Lassercast team member, in his review on Future Boy Reviews, his YouTube channel, you should go like, share, and subscribe, he mentions that fan service is like jump scares in horror, where there's good fan service and there's bad fan service. There's good jump scares in a horror movie, and then there's crappy jump scares.
These were poopy ones.
Oh, well...
I thought they were poopy, but the... Sorry. I thought they were not that good, but, like... but I just, like... The sound makes them feel good.
Yeah,
because like they weren't really scary. Like I kind of knew they were coming, but just the sound makes me like.
The music was great. The sounds and the music were great throughout. I'm just talking about like the nostalgia and the fan service. I thought for the first 2/3 of the movie they used the exact right amount, and I was really digging it. I was really loving the movie. And then at the end, it's just almost like Jason Reitman kind of ran out of original ideas.
He kind of just ran out. He kind of just lost energy, just like.
And yeah, and he kind of he went a little overboard at the end. And even then, there are things that happen in this movie that I knew were going to be there. And when I saw those things, I went, yes. And so. Even when I did feel that there was too much nostalgia, I wasn't angry about it. It didn't upset me. I still got a kick out of it. And when the movie ended, I felt like I had just had a really fun 2-hour film experience. How many stars would you give this out of 5?
4.5.
4.5? You've been complaining about it the whole time, and now you're giving it 4.5 out of 5?
4.5.
Oh my God. You're a harsh critic, but a lenient grader. I would probably give this somewhere in the neighborhood of 3.5, maybe 3.75 out of 5.
7.5. Now we're using those numbers.
Oh, yeah. A low 4. A low 4 out of 5. Look. I genuinely don't know how you can go into this movie after Ghostbusters 1 and Ghostbusters 2, waiting all this time for a direct sequel to those movies. And I don't know how you could walk...
Ghostbusters 2.
We didn't watch Ghostbusters 2 yet, but the thing is, you don't really have to. But
that's what I'm saying.
I love it. I love Ghostbusters 2, but you don't really need to have watched that to understand anything that's going on in this movie. What I was saying is, I don't understand how somebody who loves Ghostbusters can walk out of this movie and be genuinely angry and upset with what they saw. I think this is a very fair third part of a trilogy, and I'm going to probably buy it when it comes out so that I could add it to Ghostbusters 1 and 2 in my collection, and I will absolutely watch this again.
Maybe I'll show it to your grandchildren.
Oh, thank you. Athena, my wife, who's done videos with me on this channel, she was too tired on a Friday night to go see it. If she wanted to go see this movie sometime this weekend, I would absolutely go see it again. I have no problem. I think it's a movie that I could definitely go and watch, even if it was tomorrow or Sunday. It's that kind of movie for me. I enjoyed it enough. Yes, I have my issues. Yes, I have my bugaboos about it. And if we were talking spoilers, I would have a lot more in-depth thoughts. But as a lifelong Ghostbusters fan, as somebody who has the first movie almost memorized and imprinted in my head, I thought this was a very fun and enjoyable third act to that series.
Mm-hmm.
You have any final comments? If there's a sequel, would you go see it?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, sorry guys. Someone's calling me.
Is it the Ghostbusters?
Ghostbusters. Bye.
Bye. Go see Ghostbusters. Yes. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you think about it in the comments below. And we'll see you very soon on the Lastercast.
Bye. Bye.